First of all, that was a good football team. A lot of people won't believe that. I expect for those guys to do good things this year. Their tailback was really, really exceptional. Our defense played extremely well tonight, filling gaps and just not giving him a lot of space. But he really is a talented player. They're a tough football team as well. This is probably our most complete game that we've played here from an offense, defense, and special teams point of view. And they just caught us at the wrong time. It was high tide, and we were rocking and rolling out there. It was a very, very fine effort. I'm very proud of the young men, and we're getting ready to start our ACC conference run. Any questions?
Dino, you guys had 4 interceptions all last year. You had 5 for 2 games. Can you kind of maybe speak to how crucial interceptions are to turnovers specifically on your defense?
You know, turnovers are everything. They're such momentum changers, and to have the ability to be where we're at right now and to keep it going would be obviously a very favorable situation for us. One of the things that I've noticed, especially in my 35th year of coaching, is that just how you compared last year and this year, normally you have opportunities for interceptions. It's just what's your percentages when the ball touches your hands of catching it. And someone says, oh, that guy doesn't have to catch, he's a DB. Well, if there is a DB that knows how to catch, it can be a huge weapon. And I think that Cisco has really, really good hands, obviously, and he's gotten his hands on some balls. Kylan has a lot of skill. He's on our hands team as well, and he's gotten his hands on some balls. And then Terrell Richards, I mean, the interception he made, that was as good as any reception any of our wide receivers have made all year. That could probably challenge Custis's one-hand catch for the best catch of the day. So they've really capitalized on their opportunity, and that's the part that excites me the most in that area.
Dino, did the decision to keep everything longer this week, was that because of last week, just because Western Michigan obviously had a more powerful team than Wagner, but understanding Joe for
You know, the main thing is we're still working on the throwing game. We just felt like we needed to get one or two more series with him in there operating. It wasn't anything more than that. We were so good in the run and then a little deficient in the throwing game in the first game that we wanted to spend a little bit more time against other people's guys instead of doing it on practice inside of our own practice against our own guys.
So, Coach, obviously the defense is right here.
Okay, sorry.
Obviously, the defense and special teams did a great job putting the offense in position to score. There were 6 drives today where you started in Wagner's territory, and you converted all 6 times. But when you started on your own territory, your own side of the field, the offense with Don Cheney was only 2 for 5 in scoring. Does that concern you at all?
I would have to go back and look and see what the situations were, what plays we called. Again, and we're thinking about an entire game. Sometimes we just do things because we want to take a look at things. It would have to depend on what the scores were. I have to go back and look at it. Sorry.
Mark and then Stephen.
Coach back here. Eric Dungey told us earlier this week that he reminded Stephen A. Smith and talked about annihilating teams, and so he said they want to annihilate teams. I just wondered how much you're happy to see your team kind of adopt that mindset in a game like this, where they're expected to win.
Yeah, Stephen A. came and spoke to our guys during two-a-day camps, and he uses really big words. So I was kind of lost in some of the conversations, but he was very, very entertaining. But he just talked about domination, and he talked about shared a lot of stories when he was with Philadelphia and working in the NBA and talking about the greats, Michael Jordan and LeBron, and just what they do to people, how they can make a really, really good player look bad, just where they can take it to. And I think the team's kind of taking that to heart. Now, whether that applies the rest of the season or not, we shall see. But they definitely did a really nice job today, I would say that.
Stephen.
I know you're just kind of turning the corner here, but I'm sure everyone's had Florida State circled a little bit on the schedule in week 3. What kind of opportunity does that present for you guys coming into 2-0?
You know, I think we just did what everyone anticipated us doing. If we did anything different, then there would be all kind of articles being written. But we're at the spot where we're supposed to be. We're 2-0, and we got a conference game against a team that is one of the celebrated teams of our times, a team that has a fantastic tradition just like ourselves. A team that has maybe a little bit more tradition in the present than we have, but definitely a team that we're looking forward to playing. And they're talented, they're skilled, and the coach, Willie Taggart's been here before with University of Central Florida, and he got a win with their athletes, so I'm sure that they're going to be favored, and they're going to feel really good about coming in here and playing us here.
Do you think the way that last season ended, obviously Eric unfortunately got hurt at Florida State, that kind of the season didn't go well after that. Do you think that game affects the way this team is looking ahead to that matchup?
I really don't. Just like us playing Clemson the first year and getting blown out 54-0, and the second year beating them, one year doesn't play a part in what's going on the next year. The players change. Some guys graduate. Some other guys are starting. Some guys aren't. Sometimes coaches change and philosophies change. So I don't think that really plays into it.
Matt and then Nico in the back.
You okay, Cisco? Okay.
Dino, a lot of guys stepped up at wide receiver today, just spreading the ball out a lot. What was the key from last week to this week in just diversifying the offense? Seeing the ball spread out to so many different guys.
I think the biggest difference was the way they went about their practice during the week. I think there was an emphasis on the area, and there was a light. We put a light on some things, and we had some very black and white conversations with individuals to let them know that what the expectations are, and we can't settle. We won't settle for less than what we want out of those positions. And I thought that numerous guys at that position stepped up trying to show us that they're capable of being the guy. And I'm really excited to go back and look at the tape and add up all the points and see where guys are at for next week. I can't hear you. No, I don't think it'll be that many guys. No, sir.
Nico in the back.
Coach, back here, based on the improvement from last week to this week and what you've seen over the first couple of weeks, how do you feel going into this game before this game next week?
I feel like we got a chance. We've done some things. We've done some things defensively. We've done some things offensively. We've really been good in special teams. I can't put an emphasis on what that means to this football team when you're good on special teams. Someone said, well, you guys didn't, your yardage is really low. When you're winning on special team, your yardage is going to be low. You're going to be on short fields like somebody said earlier. But the really cool thing about short fields is normally if you're on short fields, that means you have a lot of points. Because the longer and longer you go on the field, normally something happens, and when something that happens is normally bad and not good. So I'm never going to complain about operating on a short field or not having a lot of yardage, especially when the points and the scoreboard looks the way it does.
I wanted to ask you about Nakeem. How much of today was just him being healthy and getting back in the mix, and how much of it is you still want to see things from him to see if he can be kind of one of the guys?
I'm going to look at that question let me answer that question a different way. Nakeem was hurt in the fall. He had a really good spring, and he got hurt in the fall. And I think that timing disrupted his relationship with the quarterbacks and being able to figure out what he's going to do on a route so that they could hit him. And I really think this last week of practice, he's really tuned in, and the quarterbacks have really gotten a good feel for him. It was good to see him go out there and catch that ball. The route that he ran was it looked like a simple route, but there was a lot of stuff to that route. But he attacked it, he ran it, and the quarterback let it go on the money. And when we're completing passes like that, on time like that, you can complete those passes against anybody. So that was really good to see.
Second row.
Thanks, Coach. What can a game like this, where the team is projected to win by so much, signify about how the rest of the season might go?
I don't think it does that. I think what it does is it gives us a chance to have the type of season that we want to have, one game at a time. It gives us an opportunity to play an opponent that, they have more talent than we have. The really cool thing about football is that the most talented team doesn't win all the time. The team that plays the best wins. So we're going to go out and try to play our very, very best game and see where that leads us. on Saturday.
Second row.
Hey, Coach, Andre Schmidt hits a 50-yard field goal today. Would you have ever expected to send him out in that situation?
Yeah, I expected to send him out. I almost let him kick it last week, but I didn't want him. It would have been 54 last week if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't want to ruin his debut with him being so young and stuff. But everything that we've asked Andre to do, he's handled. I remember meeting his mom for the very first time after the Western Michigan game. She was so proud of him. She was going crazy. I'm like, I have to go to the bus, ma'am. I'm sorry. But for him to come out, I had no doubt that he had the leg to hit the 50-yarder. It was just a matter of whether it was going to be through the goalpost or not. And if I'm not mistaken, it may not have been straight down the middle, but it wasn't very far off from straight down the middle. A fantastic kick by him.
Last three questions. Steven?
Seemed like the first team linebackers were the last unit that was kind of subbed out. I'm curious what kind of went into that. How valuable are those reps for the next week?
And we're always trying to get those guys better. They don't have the same experience as the front does. And even though Evan Foster has a lot of experience in scoop and Frederick has a lot of experience, those other secondary guys don't have a lot of experience. The linebackers are inexperienced, and we're trying to bring them along. We're trying to age them. And lucky for us, they didn't get hurt, but I think that experience was very valuable.
I was gonna say, on the flip side of that, is there any concern to the backups not, if they are needed at a certain point, maybe being ready?
No, we can't worry about the backups. We got to worry about the guys that are going out there.
Second row.
Coach, last week against Western Michigan, you surrendered 240 rushing yards. Ryan Fultz last weekend for Wagner pretty much led their offense with over 270 rushing yards. Then the defense comes to this game, only allows 1 yard per carry. How important was the rushing defense in preparing for this game?
It's everything. To win football games, you have to win the kicking game. You have to win the turnover battle. You have to stop the other team from rushing the football. A lot of people say, hey, you got to rush the football. You really don't have to rush the football if you can throw for a very, very high percentage. The Tennessee Techs of the world, the West Virginias of the world do that all the time. But you have to stop the other team from running the football. I thought that this was an unbelievable game, a good stamp, and a good start to the ACC season.
Last question from Mark.
I know you may not want to blow him up with him standing over there, but what can you say about Cisco Kid and 3 picks in 2 games? Do some guys just have a nose for the ball, as they say? Or?
The Cisco Kid, that's a record, right? Cisco Kid was a friend. He was named after that song. You guys should ask him that. See, they think I'm playing. See, they don't, tell them I don't play. See, I'm not playing. Yeah, he was really named after that song. You guys should ask him about it. I think that he has one of the coolest haircuts I've ever seen, okay? And I wish when I was growing up I could comb my hair like that. But he's a good-looking cat, and he can catch the football, and he's an orange guy. And I like the things that he's doing. I like the way he's rebounded from the first game. And I really like the fact that he's a freshman and he's going to be with us for a long, long time. How about that?
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you.